Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of April 3rd. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Terri Morrow.
Hello.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today's Thursday, which means it's time to give into our obsessing. And today we're obsessing about that thing I just said about how we're moms of teens and young adults. We are down to one teen, and we're wondering if some of the young adults are not actually that young anymore.
Have I aged out of this podcast? I'm afraid I've aged out of this podcast.
What's happening?
We're going to have to change it. We're moms of teens and young adults and just regular old adults. Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day, because as we were just talking yesterday about birthday parties, my son, my youngest child, turned 30. And my other child is 33. And it got me to thinking, are they still young adults? Where does young adult end? I would think young adult ends somewhere in the 20s. Mm-hmm. And by the time you're in your 30s, you are just a plain old,
regular old adult.
Basic adult. But that depends. I mean, I guess life milestones have been moving further and further back. It used to be by 30. I mean, I got married at 31. So, and you feel like that's when I feel like that's when my real life was starting. And I was no longer a young adult, but that's not anywhere in the sights for my kids at this point. They're still living at home. They're working. So, I mean, they're still in a young adult phase of life, right, regardless of what their chronological age is. Yeah. But on the other hand, they're old, by the way. Oh, my goodness. I am the mother of two 30-somethings. When did this happen? How did this happen?
Right.
They're old. So, I went to Google to see, well, geez, I wonder what the official definition of a young adult is. And it is all over the place. Let's see.
Depends
MIT says it's 18 to 22 or 18 to 25. University of San Francisco says 18 to 25. Let's see, here's one that says 18 to 30. Here's one who says late teens and 20s. 12 to 18, this one says. I believe that's a teenager.
Yeah, that's not a young adult.
18 to 26. Something I saw went all the way up to 35, and something else I saw went all the way up to 40.
Oh,
when you are 40, you are not a young adult. I am very sorry to tell you.
Middle age. Isn't that middle age?
Oh, yeah, here's something that says 18 to 35. So what do we consider young adulthood by the age or by the life stage?
Right.
Or,
I mean, my husband has a friend who's his own age who lives at home with his mom. So, is he a young adult, a regular adult? I mean, it's not, he has a job. He loves to garden. So in that way, he's like a senior citizen.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of these things do seem to be mid-20s. Mid-20s is the end of young adulthood. So I've been aged out for quite some time.
Right.
And
our podcast has been a fraud for all this time.
But here it says Eric Erickson, noted developmental psychologist, says 20 to 45. So that's...
Wow.
I'm confused. But...
interesting.
Maybe we need to broaden our focus here. We have to wait once your teenager is no longer teenage, Catherine.
Right.
Then we can just bump up 2 categories.
Right. We'll just say moms of adults.
Yes.
Moms of adults.
Young and
no
medium
qualifiers. Just adults.
Moms of grown-ups.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the life stage they're in is a lot more relevant to what you are doing as a parent than their specific chronological age.
Yes. And, we got developmental disabilities here. We can bump everything back about 5 or 7 years, right?
There you go.
Here we go.
No, but then, no. I want them to own their ages and feel, I don't know if I want to feel them growing up, because then they won't want me being up in their business. You're still a kid, honey. You're still
right now. Or do they feel that they don't have a choice?
Yeah, well, they don't, to be accurate. I don't care how old they are. I'm still going to be all up in their business. But
especially if they're living under your roof.
Yes. It just, 30 just feels like such a milestone, though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Feels like we're no longer playing around, you know?
Yeah.
You're in it now, boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you, Terri, when I was 30, I was right before I got married.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was 31 going on 32, I had a kid. So
yeah. I was a little bit older than my daughter when we adopted the kids. So she's still, you know, I'm still not to that, but yeah, it's.
And Nicole was a youngster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got married when I had just turned 24.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
You were a young adult.
I was a young adult.
You were a young adult.
Yeah. My husband was still 23.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then I had my son when I was 26.
So you're already at the phase where you can do when I was your age.
Exactly. I mean, I keep saying to my son, I had you by this time. Like, we owned a house by the time we were 26.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can definitely say that. So I still think of like 20s as being young adults. And then 30s is when. So just because of my own experiences, I guess.
Right.
But then I think I'm going to have to change that, because like, I kind of feel like it would be wrong to say that my son, who's going to be a doctor next year, is a young adult. So it's like, It kind of feels a bit awkward to say that, oh, he's still a young adult. And he's supposed to be like caring for people's lives.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. But yeah. So
well, that's an example of, it's not the age so much as it's the what you're doing with it.
That's right.
So
that's true. But yeah, no, because by the time and I had my daughter when I was 31. So yeah, I was kind of like over the hill by 32.
You were all done.
Yeah. I was all washed up. That was it. I got everything out of the way real fast.
I can't even imagine my kids getting to that milestone anytime soon. But
then you have them at home, and you're lucky, because mine are not at home, and I miss them a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, you know, whichever one you have, you sort of wish.
Yes.
It's nice to have them home. I love having them home. We're a cozy family. It's great. But on the other hand, there's things I want for them in their lives. And they're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
So it's like, at some point, it's never too late. But at the same time, this is the time at which you start moving towards those things if you have not yet achieved them. And I don't see that happening.
I mean, my brother had his kids in his 40s.
Yeah.
So things get pushed back more, I feel like.
That's true.
And his wife was 40.
Very comfy here. Maybe I should stop planning the parties.
You got to start making it uncomfortable. They'll be like, I'm out.
I try. I'm super nosy, and I'm picking on things all the time, and yet still,
it's not working.
It's not working. And where are they going to go with the jobs they have? But still,
but then they could move downstairs.
Yeah. If it'd been, I was such a different kid. I could not wait to get out and do stuff. You know, my mom would make comfortable places for me in the home in hopes I would stay. And nope, as soon as I got a little money up, out I go again.
Yeah. You were gone.
Yeah, I just couldn't wait to get started on whatever it was I was going to do. And such is not the case for a variety of reasons, temperamental and developmental, but still.
Yeah.
It's weird for me
Yeah.
to not have that sort of drive.
Right.
Well, and just like you know, feeling like your definition as a mom, you know, when people hear mom, like they think fairly young kids, and that's not your life anymore. But that doesn't mean that you're not you're not still a mom and you're not dealing with mom stuff.
This is why we watch Brothers and Sisters, just to reinforce for us the fact that your mom can be all up in your business way, way far along in life.
Right.
Yeah.
Sally Field, you speak for us all.
But then in this most recent one, she was invited to hang around. So
yes, boy, it was such a sad situation, and she took it so well. But I know inside she was going, yes.
Oh yeah, you can see her little smile, like he needs me. Yes, exactly.
We'll dance as appropriate inappropriate for the situation, but at the same time,
right?
Oh, you gotta love that when the kid needs you,
right?
But well. We'll just...
You'll stick around with the podcast for a little longer?
I guess I'll stick around. I don't know. I don't know.
Go anywhere.
We're in a different life phase, definitely, from your kiddos.
Yeah.
Long done with school, and not really picked up much of a career, but working and,
they're working.
Watching a lot of YouTube.
So. But they're working, which is
they have that in common with my child.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, thank you for letting me and my elderly offspring still be part of the podcast.
We're not kicking you off yet.
We hope our listeners will understand the flexibility of our definition of what young adults mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Youngish adults, we could say.
Youngish.
There we go. We're moms of teen, one teen, and youngish adults.
Teen and youngish adults.
One teen and several youngish adults.
One teen and adults who could be a little more mature if they worked on it.
Okay. We're going to wrap this up. We could go on. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundup of things that we've been enjoying or using lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you will find us at Roundabout Chat.